I want to start with 3 questions. 1, at work, do you get to do enough of the stuff that you really love? Do you do too many things at work that you don't enjoy? Does it seem like things are never going to change? Okay, so many of you don't see a very bright future. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to stay that way. You can find new inspiration in your work and in your life. Here's how I know. At one time in my life, I worked in healthcare, where scary stuff happens. Sometimes someone would come in and it would look like they were headed straight for the morgue. And then a miracle would happen. We would save them. It was magical, thrilling, and we always found a really good way to celebrate. But sometimes someone who should have gone home didn't. Why? What happened? It wasn't anyone's fault. Everyone was educated and licensed and experienced, but something clearly had failed. Sometimes we knew the reason. We'd forgotten to ask the right question, the right expert wasn't consulted. There was a miscommunication, but we didn't know why things happened. So we just kept trying to do our best and got mixed results. In the emergency room, I saw that it was the quality and the intensity of the teamwork that could make the life or death difference. And I realized that team interaction is completely different from the talents of individuals. Lots of people had spent decades figuring out how to measure what was inside of people: intelligence, personality, interests, aptitudes, even ethical choices. I wanted to know what was happening between people. And that was the mystery I set out to solve in 1979. So I contemplated for years the mysteries of teaming. What was it? How did it work? I knew that if I could only figure this out, I could help people be happy in themselves and in their relationships. And maybe I could help organizations become stronger, more productive, healthier places to work. Late one night in a New York City coffee shop, I was doodling on a stack of napkins, trying to explain how physics and systems theory applied to human interaction. Suddenly, it hit me like a crate of farm-fresh eggs. Whew. There, on the plate, were these yolks, fully formed, just like my team and me. And there were the whites, where teaming happens. When this team was being formed, sometimes the whites were kind of loose and easily broken, or they might be hard and difficult to penetrate, or just well-defined, but still flexible. If the connections were just right, you could plop in another egg and it would still be an individual, and it would also be a member of the team. In 1984, while Apple was changing the world of computing, I met Dr. Jack Gerber, a very quiet and very wise behavioral scientist. He understood everything I was talking about, and so we teamed up to change the future of work. We spent years reviewing every approach to measuring people that we could find. We examined all the statistical validation methods too. There was nothing really wrong with them, but in the end, they just couldn't answer the question. How could a group of people, all good individuals, still fail as a team? The most popular ways to measure people at the time worked like this. In one, you answered questions with your opinions or your preferences, and in the other, you'd say how you'd react to hypothetical situations. But asking a person how they'd react, or how they think they'd behave, that has its limitations. You know, people don't always do what they say they'll do, or even what they think is the right thing to do. It was a dilemma. You could know everything there was to know about the parts and pieces of a team and still not understand the forces that are at work when it actually starts behaving as one. We were determined to get to the heart of the matter. We had to find a simple, repeatable way to elicit and observe teaming behavior. And we wanted to know how good teaming relationships actually produce positive results. That meant developing theoretical structures and then rigorously testing them. It also meant we'd have to validate results in the real world. That's where physics and systems theory really began to pay off. So we started looking at the problem from the viewpoint of the team, as if it were a living being. What would the team need from its people to meet its unique mission? This gave us new and exciting research questions. Do people have different ways of serving the needs of a team? Can we use that information to choose and organize team members according to the mission? Is it possible to actually design a team for optimal performance? And then there was that age-old question. Does size matter? No, it doesn't. It could be a startup in someone's garage, or a Fortune 100, a scout troop, or a school. All have teams, and all teams have specific needs, but the elements of teaming are universal. Ultimately, we invested 25 years in research, testing, and technology. We created an integrated system of measurement and management methods to predict teaming behavior and performance, to explain the sources of team chemistry, to help people find work that's truly meaningful to them, to help managers structure teams to meet their objectives, to build mutual understanding and respect between team members, and to produce extraordinary business results. Here are some real-life examples of what can happen when companies gain new understanding of how people team to get to the win. Imagine this. You're a purchasing manager. You're good at it, but it's not really what you wanted to do. And then one day, you get promoted to vice president of sales. Why? Because the CEO learned that managing salespeople in your company is completely different from selling. And you've got just the right teaming mojo. So, where other VPs didn't succeed, you become a roaring success. That's good. Think about it. How many people spend every day doing things that give them little satisfaction, little sense of achievement? It bothers me. Does it bother you? I'm sad. The untapped potential of people who could be doing great things and creating great value, but they never get the opportunity because they're viewed only in terms of their function or their resume or their physical appearance or their gender or their age. Now you're an operations VP, leading the transition to lean manufacturing. The processes are proven, but you're failing miserably. Someone suggests a new technology that explains how and why people team together. It tells you how to give the right people the right job responsibilities on the right teams. In the end, your lean initiative succeeds beyond everyone's expectations. Win. Here's the point. People like best what they do best, and they do best what they like best. They like how it feels to be on a winning team and to feel appreciated for the ways in which they contribute. And there's a big payoff for organizations that nurture and sustain those feelings. They improve productivity and quality. They have engaged workers. They build resilience and reliability throughout their organizations. Okay, one final example. In your company, 3 out of 10 new hires don't even make it through the first year. You're the vice president of HR, and it's on you. Your CEO comes in one day and tells you you're going to start using a new teaming test on job candidates. You follow orders, and you figure you're doomed. But then your worry turns to fascination and ultimately amazement as hundreds of new people join the company within the next 2.5 years without one single instance of new hire turnover. Again, all true stories. Take a moment to imagine what could happen where you work. What would you like to see? Everyone doing more of the work they like? More financial success? A more innovative, collaborative culture? Don't you think it's time for business to let go of the idea that people are just human resources or human capital? I mean, really, I'm not a lump of coal or a dollar bill on legs, and neither are you. We live in a global, real-time, multicultural, multi-generational virtual world where people form the infrastructure, the human infrastructure of their organizations. People often say that timing is everything, but it's even more true. Teaming is everything. Teaming is the living expression of our interdependence. As I've seen organizations solve their teaming problems, it's become clear creating and maintaining positive team chemistry is transformational. We humans are hardwired for teaming. We need to acknowledge and embrace our need to connect with each other, to collaborate as if our very lives depended on it, because they do. So let us call this our declaration of interdependence. It is very personal and also universal. A person is a who, not a what. People are not just collections of skills and traits and neural systems. They're also driven to make specific, meaningful contributions to the needs of a team. When you discover and embrace your own way of teaming, the one you resonate with, the one that helps you become your very best self, you're at the beginning of your path. Whether it involves new and daunting challenges or is very familiar and comfortable, being you is fulfilled through what you do with you. A team is a living entity. True collaboration requires people to sacrifice their need for control, self-interest, separateness. When this happens, acting in the best interest of a team becomes friction-free, effortless, joyful. Once the elements of teaming are in place, the word leader takes on a new meaning. It's just one position on the team, and not necessarily the most important one. And it applies to everyone, because at any given time, anyone may be called upon by the needs of the team to be its leader. Teaming is our destiny. People give to each other, they take from each other, they share with each other. That's what daily life is. But when people give themselves to something greater than person-to-person interactions, their awareness rises to a new level, not just of giving, but of personal achievement, of satisfaction, of the meaningfulness of the giving. When this phenomenon of person-to-team interaction is fully understood, deployed, and supported within an organization, powerful forces of team chemistry and collaboration are set free. Interdependence becomes the way we work, the way we succeed, the way we live happily together. Our way of teaming, our role, our mission in life is expressed in different ways by different people, but all come together equally in service to the team and to our shared world. Interdependence can free us from the past and propel us into a bright future. And so, in support of this declaration, with total confidence that a unified field of human interaction is operating in our world, I encourage you to discover your unique source of happiness by understanding how you team. Embrace and appreciate ways of serving team needs that are different from yours, because it brings people together and makes great things possible. And above all, team well and prosper.